Thanks to funding from the National Lottery Heritage Fund, we've been on a mission to make Camden's heritage more visible. We're adding an extra layer to the city, so our idea was all about bringing people along in that journey with us, and also the more people know about Camden's heritage, the more they have a voice in its future.
And children made mosaic. So they're all inspired by Camden and they're quite wacky, they're quite fun.
We ran 25-day-long workshops for 17 Camden schools, involving I think just over 500 young people aged 9 to 13. We started the workshop day telling stories about heritage, about Camden High Line, and the sort of history that has informed Camden Town, before then taking them out on a sort of exploratory tour of 4 key areas. There was a lot of reflection on what they'd seen, and we did this through games and drawing, and they finally in pairs created paper mosaics that is right now being translated by other members of the community into a collaborative piece of artwork.
Creativity is a fantastic way of connecting people with their heritage, but we've all been having conversations about these little templates, these iconic landmarks in Camden, and we're just having conversations with people who live in the community as well and hearing their stories. We're besties now, aren't we? Oh yeah.
Funnily enough, I'm making the building, which is the Egg Cup building, the TVAM building. Well, as somebody who's in their 80s, it's the bit that I'm leaving behind, yes.
Yeah, I think it seems like a house. I think it could be at Camden Gardens, which is where the first entrance to the High Line is.
That could be it. The idea that so many people will be walking around this High Line, and the thought that goes into each individual part of it comes from not just one brain, but the creative minds of people from different ages and spaces is a really beautiful thing.
I think for the young people that took part, seeing this mosaic in place and hopefully recognising some of their own artwork that's influenced it will reinforce that pride in place and hopefully mean that they will become stewards of the future Camden High Line.
We've also had a young trainee programme, so at the beginning we worked with about 10 local young people who came with us on the journey and did the research and met with local organisations and kind of defined what that heritage was, and that's kind of formed the basis of where we are now.
My project was based on the public toilets that was made in 1900 in Camden, like the heart of Camden. And it was the first ever female toilets, so I made my own posters using like an old Victorian printing method. Remembering the heritage and like how we got to where we are and like the way it is now is so important because it's part of my history as well. What I value a lot is like community. I've never really worked with younger people, so this programme has allowed me to do that.
We also wanted to make our organisation more resilient. Now our volunteers can lead walking tours by themselves and help out in education workshops, and they've upskilled through that as well. And now this walking tour route has its own signposts, it has plaques, it has murals.
The interchange building facilitated the movement of goods, particularly heavy goods, between the canal, the railway level and then the road level. So Camden was at the forefront of these technologies, like the lock systems, the canal systems, the railway. I think it's really important that you embed a project in its place and in its community. Our memories and identity are formed in place, and so how we respond to our place is really part of who we are. I think all these types of project is layer upon layer, and that kind of layering is really what creates richness in an environment and creates something that is really hard to recreate in a brand new place. I think projects like this remind people that they have a voice and that they can engage and that they can start to shape the change.